Totem Pole Nation. Totem Pole Nation. Welcome to Totem Pole Sports, the weeknight at 10 o'clock. We got a lot of sports we got to talk about. But first, we want to thank you to all the fans of Totem Pole Nation. Get your merch, right? Follow Coach Lambo, follow Coach Taylor. Welcome, Jax, M2K Hunter. Of course, this is a new special of every single weeknight of Totem Pole Sports. Obviously, a lot of things to talk about today. We already talked about some things. Coach Taylor, how is night 2 going for Totem Pole Sports?
Hey, man. Glad to be back. Prayers out to all the people that died on that bridge in Baltimore, Maryland. That's pretty close to home, man, when you start talking about Virginia.
Yep.
So let me put up our screen. AP News, AP Sports, thank you for allowing us to use your site. NFL owners approve a radical overhaul to kickoff rules, adopting setup used in the XFL.
Well,
Lambo, how do you feel about this?
Well, every single year, rules are changed. They've been changing some stuff with the special teams, even before this. Obviously, the XFL has made it more of an offensive league. This is basically the same way the owners met today on a new rule, which the rule is, the major overhaul to special teams, which has been for the last couple of years, obviously, is takes elements of the kickoff rules used in the XFL, which the XFL does start this Saturday, obviously. And they're going to tweak them. They're going to combine some XFL and NFL rules starting the 2024 season. The rule will only be played for one season on a trial base in 2025, obviously. So basically, the whole point of this is the urgency to vote on this rule before the draft is so it can impact the way the team structures some things. There were 1,970 touchbacks and kickoffs last season that now could be returns. There were 92 fair catches last season that are no longer allowed. Any ball that is caught in the field must be returned. Right? So for standard kickoff, the ball is going to be kicked from the 35-yard line with the 10 kick coverage players lined up at the opposing 40-yard line, 5-on-5 on each side, if you know what special teams is. So basically, you have to be able to return the kick. Any kick that reaches the end zone in the air can be returned on the receiving team out there for a touchback and possession at 30-yard line. Also, any kick that reaches the end zone in the air, goes out of bounds or out of the end zone, will result in a touchback at the 30-yard line. Under current rules, any touchback or returner calls a fair catch in the field of play results in the receiving team getting the ball at the 25-yard line. So we'll have
how do they keep onside kicks now?
Onside kicks. I guess it's the same way with having the ball at the 30-yard line. You have to make sure it's above over 10 yards. It doesn't say anything about onside kicks. It just mostly says things about standard kickoff as of right now. I don't see anything as far as onside kicks.
Skies and skis. LeBron or Curry?
LeBron?
Yeah, dude. It's got to be LeBron. Why? He's the most freakish athlete of all time. Why? I mean, Curry, is there a Curry if there's still illegal defense in the NBA? You can't shoot over top of man-to-man. But you can shoot over top of zone. There we go. I forgot about our music, man.
Well, it's here.
We were rocking the Into Space yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were rocking it on, maybe not. We were rocking the rock and roll. We had the rock. There we go. Thank you, Lambo. Utah I mean, dude, what is this now? Bill Belichick retires, so now everybody wants to make up the rules now that Belichick ain't coaching.
Probably that's probably part of it. They included Tom Brady and Belichick in there, so I don't know. You know, Bill Belichick was the king of special teams and stuff like that from time to time, obviously. But everybody wants to change rules. Like I said, it's an offensive game. I don't see any rules change as far as defense. The only thing about it is you can't hit nobody no more. That's the crappy part about it.
Utah coach says team was shaken after experiencing racist hate during the NCAA tournament. Are you familiar with this, Lambo?
It's very sad. I know when teams travel, especially like us too as high school coaches, we go to Powhatan. Powhatan is very racist. You know, black people like myself do not belong in Powhatan, and we've been there twice. One scouting for the JV team, other in the actual game, obviously. So it's sad.
Members of the
it's sad
it's
that
sad.
it's happened.
It's sad, man.
That it's happened. It's always something.
Members of the Utah.
Go ahead.
Members of the Utah women's basketball team were subjected to racism near their hotel in Idaho last week when a pickup truck with a Confederate flag drove near them and the driver began using offensive language, including the N-word, authorities said Tuesday. The team was left shaken and wound up moving to a different hotel the next day. The Wi-Fi is horrible. Which Wi-Fi, me or Coach Lambo? Whose Wi-Fi is terrible?
No, his Wi-Fi is terrible. This is my Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Okay.
So it's sad. It's sad that it's happened. Obviously, you know, they had to move hotels, obviously, but you don't want to live when you go in the Western states, the West Coast. They're more racist. Obviously, I'm not gonna say what states are, but don't live in Idaho, Utah. Don't be around a Confederate flag. But this stuff like this is just not tolerated. They already had several instances of kind of racial hate crimes in the program. This is not the first time that this happened, obviously, but at the end of the day, the Kunite County Task Force and Human Relations are looking at it. They also were walking from the hotel to the restaurant, and that's when it happened. So they had to move hotels, obviously, but there's only limited hotel space. And Gonzaga has received a waiver from the NCAA to allow teams to be housed in Idaho, but this is pretty sad. Hopefully, things like that do not happen because, look, you're just trying to play the game of basketball. You're trying to make it fun. We don't need all that negativity around.
No. Diamondbacks add left-handed pitcher Jordan Montgomery on $25 million for 1 year. How do you feel about this move, Coach Lambo? Are you a fan of the Diamondbacks and Jordan Montgomery?
Okay. Well, I'm not a fan of the Diamondbacks, but I am a Boston Red Sox fan. Obviously, I don't pay attention to baseball, I guess, until the end of the season because it's 162 games of baseball. When it comes to signing this pitcher, like I said, baseball is all guaranteed contracts, right? You've seen Bryce Harper, all these other guys with 12-year, $300 million deals. When it comes to this guy in Montgomery, with the option he has for next year, they can guarantee him if he makes at least 10 starts now. You got to read the contract, part of it, things like that. Montgomery's also pitched for Texas against Arizona in the World Series last year, and the addition that bulks up the defending national champions rotation just days before the regular season starts. The regular season starts in, on my birthday or April 1st. Montgomery should slide to number 3 or number 4 spot once he's ready for action. He also joining Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Edward Rodriguez, who signed an $80 million four-year contract with the Diamondbacks earlier in the all season. Like I said, he just turned 31 in December. He is 6'6". Left-handed pitchers are the best pitchers of all time when it comes to baseball. The Rangers wanted to sign Montgomery, but they weren't positioned to pay the increased cost to re-sign him. when he made $10 million last year. So obviously Montgomery is 38-34 as a pitcher. He has the ERA of 3.68 in 141 career games, obviously. 140 starts with New York Yankees, St. Louis Cardinals, and Rangers. The Texans also got him a reliever, Chris Stratton, who came from St. Louis last year as well, which acquired Montgomery for the Yankees in the 2022 trade for the Gold Glove center field Harrison Balder. So this guy will be fine. It's a great addition, obviously. So we'll see how this goes for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Obviously.
I mean,
Shohei Ohtani could be more open with teammates without Buffer Missouri, Dodger manager says. See, I don't like this. I don't like how the Dodgers manager is going out into the media and talking about what's going on in their clubhouse. Shohei Ohtani's life will be fundamentally different in the coming weeks and months without his interpreter and constant companion ever since he moved to the majors from Japan. I had the music on 15 yesterday, man. Was it not loud enough?
I'm not sure. You probably put up 20.
Okay. Although the changes caused Missouri's firing amid allegations of gambling and theft, could there be jarring to a baseball star who thrives on routine? Dude, I'm never going to believe that this guy won't gambling. All right? If Shoeless Joe Jackson was banned from baseball and he hit over 300 in the World Series just because his teammates decided to go with the mafioso and throw the World Series, this guy right here, his teammate, his interpreter, was betting on baseball. To me, that's good enough. If Pete Rose is banned, Shoeless Joe Jackson's banned, Ohtani, they must really need you, which you are a pitcher and a hitter, which is you and Babe Ruth. Y'all are in very, very small company. How are you feeling about this Ohtani guy? Do you trust him and what he's saying?
I don't trust his interpreter. I think the baseball player will be fine. I don't trust the interpreter. Obviously, he should no longer be in the picture. But in the past, he's already spent thousands of hours at Angel Stadium over the previous 6 years with Missouri, who helped Ohtani to communicate with the Angels coaches, players, and everything on strategic advice, rehabilitation plans, and video game trash talk. But like I said, this is going to be tough for him. I don't think it would affect his baseball play. So I think this will be fine. I guess we're making this a bigger deal than what it is. But everybody gambles, right? The baseball, I think all sports are now scripted now. I think baseball is scripted, NBA is scripted, and the NFL is scripted. Everything is scripted. If you're gambling and you know your team is going to win, there's a storyline involved. So I think most of these sports are scripted, especially the MLB.
Especially the MLB.
Yes.
All right. March Madness. Creighton do it all. Man, Baylor. Shimerman looking for happier ending in March Madness. Creighton do it all. Man, Baylor, Shireman looking for happier ending in March Madness. Hands on his head in front of his jersey, pulled up to cover his face. Baylor Shireman was the picture of Creighton's raw emotion in the immediate aftermath of its crushing loss in the NCAA Elite Eight last year. Is Creighton any good? I haven't watched but maybe 2 college basketball games all year. Where is Creighton? Is it Creighton's court?
Where is Creighton? Okay. Where is
Creighton court? I don't know Creighton.
Creighton is in Omaha, Nebraska. So Creighton's in Nebraska. So yes. So Creighton is in the Sweet 16. Obviously, Creighton made the Elite Eight last year. Obviously, Creighton does have a chance to beat Tennessee. So I think they'll beat Tennessee. I even have Creighton probably possibly in the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I understand. But certain teams, when you lose in the same round every time, the Elite Eight, the Sweet 16, it gets very tough. It gets very difficult. But I am all confident in Creighton, right? Leading and getting and making history, right? So I'm confident they're making history, obviously. Creighton's a very good team. They got great offensive guys, great defense. They got a great coach, obviously. So they're going to be ready to go. We're going to be ready to go, right? Creighton's going to make history. I think Creighton upsets Tennessee, and they somehow sneak into the Elite Eight. Or if they win the Elite Eight, they can go to the Final Four. That's going to be my top four teams. One of my top four teams to make the Final Four.
I would take Creighton Court over Creighton. All right, Skies and Skis wants to know, my friend subscribed. Thank you, Skies and Skis. What's your favorite NFL team? All right, I used to be a Washington Redskin fan, but now I'm only cheering for teams that pay me to wear their logo.
That's cap.
Coach Lambeau. Now I'm not cheering for no teams. NFL means not for long.
Because your current team is trash. That's why.
My current team don't care about me.
They're trash.
None of
You're
those.
Washington
Care.
Commanders fan.
I never cared about the Washington Commanders. I quit caring when they fired Shanahan. All right, but Coach Lambeau's loyal to his team, the Patriots.
Yes, I am.
He is a loyal fan.
One of the best dynasties in the world. Which the dynasty would never.
Oh, here you go.
That dynasty will never be completed again.
No, it will not. NFL owners don't vote on Tom Brady's bid to buy a minority share of the Raiders. Look at Tommy. Tommy terrific. There. As you can see, he's got nice brown hair. His beard is gray. This is Tommy terrific. He's the GOAT. The greatest of all time, obviously. And NFL owners didn't vote Tuesday on Tom Brady's bid to purchase a stake in the Las Vegas Raiders, putting into question how long the transaction will take or if it will even occur at all.
Well, here's what happened here. The NFL owners have ill will against Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady has won 7 Super Bowls. He's won 6 in New England. I bet most owners don't like Tom Brady. Now, with this minority share with the Raiders, this happened when Josh McDaniels was the head coach as well. I think in his first year or his second year. So he's been trying to get a stake with the Raiders. It's going to be a delay, obviously, but also Tom Brady's got a big contract with Fox Sports starting this upcoming season in September, where he signed a 10-year deal to be on Fox as well. The concern with the owners is that Mark Davis is offering Brady a discounted price that will lower the franchise value. The only reasonable number to purchase price for Tom Brady is the only thing that the Colts owner Jim Irsay said at the league meetings in October. If reasonable value says that 10% should be $525 million. You can't pay $175 million. He also has to deal with Fox. Game day analysts also may affect the schedules here and there. Like I said, Tom Brady is a 7-time Super Bowl champion, obviously, one with the Buccaneers. He's also set to be a part-time WNBA part owner as well. Minority share for the Las Vegas Aces on October 2nd. So he's trying to get stake at everything. So he already began this process last year for the stake for the Raiders. So it's taking a while. But Tom Brady just trying to make that money. I don't see what the problem is. But like I said, it's going to be more difficult when you're have a 10-year deal with Fox and then try to be a minority owner for the WNBA team and then try to be one for the Raiders. So it's all about scheduling conflict at this point.
Coach Ball says, breaking news, Totem Pole Sports, Coach Taylor and Coach Lambo are the best sports show going today. Woo! Now, I like this guy right here. Steelers bolster return game by signing Cordell Patterson to a 2-year deal. He is from South Carolina. He is from Rock Hill. What do you think about this move for the Steelers?
Well, Patterson brings that experience. Obviously, he's played with the Vikings. He's played with the Patriots. My question is, even though he's 33 years old and he's older, the question is for Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, do you really believe in Najee Harris? Now, last year, they didn't have anything of a run game at all. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator, already knows him from Atlanta. So you bring in the guy that Arthur Smith already knows. You keep him happy. Obviously, it's only $6 million, so it's not that bad of a contract. Really cheap. He's returned 9 kickoffs for a touchdown in his 11-year career. He played in New England, Chicago, Atlanta, Minnesota, and Oakland. And he's already has average of kickoff return of 3 times and 7 kickoff returns for 100 yards. So this guy is going to be just fine. He ran for about 600 yards in 2021, but his role diminished when when the Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson. But the problem with the Steelers is they have trouble finding a difference maker in the return game. They hadn't had any guys that can return kicks, right? Last year they only had 37 yards and just averaged 23.5 yards per return while splitting the job between handfuls of players, which is not very good at all. So Cordell Patterson does have a chance to make some magic happen, but he's 33 years old. He's not the same player as he once was.
Dutchers, Aztecs face UConn in the Sweet 16 in a rematch of their painful national title game loss. How do you think about that? What do you think about that matchup, Lambo? Can the Aztecs beat UConn?
Okay. UConn is still one of the best teams in college basketball, right? Number 1 seed. They're back to where they are. I think this game is going to be a very, very, very close game. I'm not going to deny it at all. I think this is going to be a very close game. Both teams are going to be in a dogfight. Now, I know that Dan Hurley said something about a committee that, they want during the hard conference, they're trying to see if they can win back-to-back Final Fours, which is very hard to do. It's not very easy to do. But we seen what happened with San Diego State last year. They made it far, obviously. But things will be fine. This game will be played on Thursday. So you got a 34-3 Huskies team and the 26-10 Aztecs team. I think both of these teams are gonna get into a dogfight. But remember the Lamont Butler's buzzer beater against FAU in the semifinal game. But they lost in the national championship game by 76-59. So this is obviously a rematch of the Final Four game last year. So these teams are going to be great, obviously. So give me UConn still, but I am very confident that this will be a very close game. If an upset happens, I would not be surprised.
March Madness. TV ratings slightly up over last year despite Sunday's blowouts. Is that surprising to you, or is it obviously not? March Madness, TV ratings are slightly up over the last year.
Well, you got new stories, new teams coming in. You got teams like Many State that made it to the tournament. The Michigan State and North Carolina game drew about 10 million views. That's the most since the Saturday round game with Kentucky and Indiana in 2016. The Sunday games averaged 8.91 million views. It's an 8% decrease over last year when the margin of victory in 8 games was 19 points. Duke blew out James Madison 93-55. Purdue blew out Utah State 106-67. Through Saturday, the tournament averaged about 9 million views. Overall, the tournament is averaging 9.07 million views on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. Last year was at 9.05 million as of last season, obviously. But like I said, Thursday's round averaged about 8.5 million. That's the most watched since 2015. and Friday averaged 8.6 million. That's second behind last year. But like I said, CBS and TNT should be able to regain some momentum during the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 when you have all 4 top seeds live and blue blood programs are still in the field. So the ratings are going to go up even higher because there are probably going to be more potential upsets.
Miami's Jimmy Butler ruled out of the Heat Warrior game with illness. Are you surprised in this? It was the 22nd time in 72 games that Jimmy Butler has missed.
Well, okay, there's multiple players that miss games, so I'm not really surprised. Now, Jimmy Butler is the leading scorer. He averages about 21 points a game. The Heat also didn't have Tyler Hero, the number 2 scorer. He averaged 20 points a game. He's already missed 16 consecutive games for Tyler Hero with the knee and then the foot problems. He's been through injuries. But it's
does he ever play?
Yes, Jimmy Butler plays. Yes, he does play.
No,
but
Tyler Hero. Does he ever play?
He's played. He just missed 16
consecutive games.
Last 2 years. He's missed 16 consecutive games this season. He has played. He's appeared in some games, but he's been dealing with a knee and foot problem for the past year or so. Miami also didn't have Kevin Love for the 14th consecutive game while he recovers from a sore heel. Look, this game, the NBA is 82 games, right? I understand the playoffs in about 2 weeks, but let's give these players a break. Everybody's hurt. If you're not hurt by this time of year, either you're greatly healthy or you're soft. I don't know what to really say about this. Injuries happen. Jimmy Butler will be fine. That's why they call him Playoff Jimmy. So Jimmy Butler's going to be fine. Tyler Hero's going to be fine. The Miami Heat team isn't as great as of right now for regular season, but in the playoffs, they do going to make some noise. So I'm not going to sleep on the Miami Heat. The Jimmy Butler injury, well, he got sick. I mean, okay, he'll be back. It's not that big of a deal.
Hawks star Trae Young enters next step in rehab from finger surgery with no timetable for return. Why is this even a headline? I mean, did anybody expect him to come back this season?
Well, I mean, he's repairing a ligament in his left pinky finger, so that means it's hard for him to grip the ball, obviously. But he's averaging 26.5 points a game, almost 11 assists. He was injured, so he has not played in 1 month. The last time he's played was February 23rd in the loss to Toronto. The Hawks have been 8-7 since he went down, and then of course the 30-point. They came back for 30 points to beat the Boston Celtics. This is not that big of a deal. When it comes to Atlanta Hawks, they're 32-29. Right now they hold the final play-in spot for the Eastern Conference. 3 weeks left in the regular season. I guess you're going to keep Trae Young healthy for the playoffs, but dude, this is nothing. I understand, your pinky, it hurts. You can't really grip. But I think Trae Young will come back healthy. We'll see if the Atlanta Hawks make the playoffs in the play-in tournament because it's going to be pretty hard because the Eastern Conference is maybe a little bit weak, but there's a lot of teams. There's about 4 play-in teams that got to play to fight for that final playoff spot.
LeBron, the flop, the GOAT, many people call him. Ankle issue will prevent LeBron James from playing Tuesday in Lakers game with the Bucks. Look at LeBron. What do you think about that, Lambo?
Okay. LeBron James, left ankle injury. Great. Cool. I mean, when it comes to LeBron, there's 82 games in basketball. I mean, how many games do you need to play? Now, I understand that it's the 10th game that the 4-time MVP will miss the season. He's already played 62 games. So, if you play a minimum of 65, you have a chance of odds to win MVP, obviously with the rule changes. That's his highest regular season total since the 2019-2020 season. He wants to compete. LeBron plays through injuries, obviously, but this is probably one where it's like, save yourself. But the Lakers are fighting for that play-in spot in the Western Conference. They already won the game against 123 to 122 in Los Angeles when D'Angelo Russell scored 44 points in the other matchup against the Bucks. So this is not much of an injury. You know, they'll be fine. 3 weeks left to go in the playoffs. He doesn't miss any games. Doesn't really, that much of an injury except that horrible injury, I think, 3 years ago before that. But LeBron, they'll be fine. I'm not sure if they're going to make the playoffs, but on the verge of being knocked into the playoffs, so they have to win the play-in tournament. They have to win that.
Does LeBron's in-season tournament championship count towards his rings?
Hell no. Hell no. Let's be real. Kobe Bryant, if Kobe Bryant was alive right now, Kobe Bryant would not approve of that. So that tournament in the beginning of the season, that hell no does not count. Even if my Boston Celtics would have won that, I wouldn't even count that as a tournament. So no. Look,
would you have got a T-shirt?
No. The T-shirt is too expensive. I'm not getting no T-shirt. I want
Klay Thompson scores 28. Golden State runs away in second half to top Miami. Game 6, Klay. Is he back? Now he's not just the game 6. He's the 6th man.
Okay, well.
Is Klay Thompson washed? Is Klay Thompson trash?
Okay, Klay Thompson's not trash. Now I understand he struggled like half the season. He struggled. He had to come off the bench. Obviously, Klay Thompson's going through some stuff. Obviously, right? They beat the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson. Right? So Bam Adebayo was the leading scorer with 24 points. Now Klay Thompson scoring 28. Jonathan Kuminga had 18. The Warriors are still fighting for, that playoff spot for to get the number 8 seed in the Western Conference. They're right above the Rockets and right behind the Lakers, I think. So Thompson was 11 for 20. He can shoot just fine. So I'm not really worried about Klay Thompson. The Warriors are 37 to 34. They are a full game ahead of Houston for the 10th and the final play-in spot. Miami is 39 and 33. They remain 7th in the Eastern Conference. So at the end of the day, Klay Thompson will be prime Klay Thompson when they get to the playoffs. When they get for that play-in, Klay Thompson's going to explode. But they can't be all about Steph Curry, so Klay Thompson will come back.
In world news, Fed search Sean Diddy Puffy Puff Daddy Combs properties as part of a sex trafficking probe.
Oh, Lord.
Is Diddy done?
Yes.
Is Diddy washed?
Okay. This going to be the last.
Diddy Bop gone forever?
It's going to be the last topic we talk about today. But yes, Diddy is done. Remember, Diddy is not only involved in that, but Diddy, 50 Cent said that Diddy was a fruit pop 25 years ago, right? Diddy asked 50 Cent to take him out shopping. You don't never take a man out shopping. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of crap that goes on in Hollywood, right? So he's getting exposed for that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the only one. But if you paid attention to the Cat Williams situation on the Shay Shay podcast, Cat Williams said that he's exposing everybody. All truth is going to come out. This part of the truth is coming out. Just don't party with Diddy, right? Take that. Just be careful. Be careful when he says take that, because you don't want it up your rear end. Take that.
Yeah. Be like Caitlyn. I was Caitlin Clark is inspiring a younger generation of players. Is Caitlin Clark the GOAT? Is she the greatest college basketball athlete of all time?
Yes. You know how many records she broke? Now, obviously, the older generation. No. The older generation. Let me be real. It's between her and Leslie. I forgot her last name. Leslie. It's between
Lisa
her.
Leslie.
Lisa Leslie. So if I had to debate on that, I'd take Lisa Leslie over Caitlin Clark. But in this generation, Caitlin Clark is the greatest in this generation. But give me Lisa Leslie. I'm going old school.
See, I
don't know.
I
don't know
take,
about Lisa
I would
Leslie.
take the Bayou Barbie. I would take the Bayou Barbie over Caitlin Clark any day of the week. All right, Angel Reese is the type of player I want on my team.
Wait, hold on. So Candace Park is not up there.
No, I'm saying I'll take Angel Reese over Caitlin. I like Candace Parker. I'm a huge fan of her, Skylar Duggins, Kara Lawson, Sue Bird.
Yep, Sue Bird.
All those great players. But Angel Reese, I would take her over Caitlin Clark.
Well, there you have it for Totem Pole Sports. Weeknights at 10 o'clock. We will be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Totem Pole Nation. We are on our way to 120K subscribers, so please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Silas, for the platform. We are sponsored